answer that kind of request when people call in like that. So let's go ahead and start putting ourselves in a place where we're focused, where we're utilizing what we have, where the challenges that we face off against we start to overcome. Um, so when we put ourselves in a mentality where we focus past our challenges, when we put ourselves in a place where we use positivity as a foundation, we start to get into the ability to overcome our challenges. And like, I don't like comparing to other people's challenges. I like going through my own challenges and having the ability to overcome them. And so that's what this channel is about. It's about positivity. It's about the ability to put ourselves in a place where what we're focusing on gives us the ability to to become who we are on the inside. And a lot of people face off against those kinds of challenges inside of themselves. They stop themselves from becoming who they are on the inside. They stop themselves from the ability to overcome the things that others wouldn't want to. And let's go ahead and start getting ourselves on that page. Let's utilize today as a ability for us to manifest our beings, to manifest our abilities to be who we are on the inside, and to get through the things that nobody else can for you. And so a lot of times the challenges that you're facing off against is really what's going on is it's going on inside of you, okay? So a lot of us want to limit ourselves, or we want somebody else to do it for us, or we want somebody else to become it for us, and that's just not how it works. How it works is within yourself. It works with you, and it's when it starts to work in your life, when things start to happen for you, and they start to happen with you, that you start to really get into your challenges. And each of us have challenges. Each of us have things that we need to work through. And so the story of um, today's vlog is to get through the challenges that other people won't. And each of us have that place, and we have those types of things to go through, and each of us have that type of a mentality, and it's just is from what comes inside of you. And you manifest the things that are happening to you. The people that are around you, the places that you go, they come from your mind. They come from your ability to make it through your challenges and to get to the page where you're focusing on positivity, where you're giving yourself the ability to work on it on a daily basis, right? Because everyone's challenges are going to be different. Everyone's challenges are going to be there for you to see and to experience. And each of you, when you experience your own challenges, when you put yourself on your page, when you start going through the things inside of you, when you focus to that level where you're utilizing what you have inside, when you're truly utilizing what you have inside of yourself, your challenges start to look small. They start to look like you can work through them. And that's what we want. We want to overcome our challenges. We want them to be a place inside of ourselves where we give ourselves the ability to work through them, where what we have going on the inside is greater than what's going on the outside. And a lot of us stop ourselves from giving ourselves that kind of permission. And that's the question that we should be asking ourselves. That's the place where we should be going from within and radiating light outwards from. And so how do you start to do that for yourself? How do you start to overcome your challenges and start to get into the person that you truly are? And how do you start to manifest that being? How do you start to become who you are on the inside? A lot of us have light, and we have things that we can search out. We have things that we can utilize, things that we can use for liberation in our minds. And sometimes we hold ourselves back. We actually hold ourselves back from moving forward. We hold ourselves back from giving ourselves the ability to utilize our challenges. We hold ourselves back from the ability to be who we are on the inside. And it just doesn't work that way. The way it works is when you go inwards. It's when you put yourself on the page where you're utilizing what you have, where you're manifesting from within, where what you use on a daily is coming from within you. And so that's that's how it works. It works when you want to achieve it. Like a lot of people, they want to get the degree, but they don't want to do the work to get the degree. They don't want to sit down and study. They don't want to sit down and grind. They don't want to sit down to get through their challenges, but they want the success. Like a part of the process is getting there, right? It's like going through the things that you would have to go through. Like think about going on a hike, for instance, right? If you go on a hike, yeah, and so you start this hike, you heard stories that other people made it up this mountain or that mountain. What about when you make it up your mountains? What about when you sit in front of your challenges and you start to work through them? What about when you start to focus through the things that you go through? When does that start to happen? When do we stop trying to put it because of somebody else or make some other excuses to be ourselves? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about climbing your own mountains for yourself. I'm talking about becoming who you are on the inside. I'm talking about manifesting your being and utilizing the energy that you have. And a lot of people neglect themselves of that. They neglect themselves of the ability to be who they are, to go through the things that only they can. And so it's inside of oneself that being lives. It's inside of one's manifestation that the reflection radiates light outwards. And see, a lot of people, they don't talk about that. They don't sit down and they don't say, hey, if you give yourself just a little bit of time, each day, you can do great things. You just got to put yourself in a place where you're focused on what you want to achieve. See, a lot of people, they want some group to do it for them. It doesn't work that way. How it works is inside of you. And so when we are manifesting that, when we are putting ourselves on that page where what is coming out of us is absolutely a blessing, where what we're utilizing is our challenges. See, a lot of people don't want to utilize their challenges. They want somebody else to do it for them. What about your journey? When do you start this journey? When do you start this path? When do you give yourself that place to be who you are on the inside? And see, a lot of people don't even ask themselves this question: do I know myself? And so this is the questions, these are the types of things that cut into the universe. See, the universe yields to the person who's willing to continue even when other people would give up, who's willing to continue even when the challenges come. See, I've had a lot of people tell me, hey, you should quit. You should stop doing motivational speeches. And then I remember I have that one person in the car. I have that one person in the car who reminds me of why I do this, why I speak, why I want to help people out. Why would you want to do that for yourself? See, I've continued to do this for over a year. I've continued to put the mentality first. I've continued to put the ability inside of oneself into a place where focus becomes a foundation. And see, a lot of people don't put their focus as their foundation. They don't put their ability to work through their challenges in front of them. They don't give themselves the kind of permission that it takes. And it takes that kind of permission for you to be yourself. It takes that kind of permission for you to go through your challenges. Because each of you have challenges. There's no difference between you or me when it comes to challenge. We all have them. And they're up for you to work through. They're up for you to work with. They're asking you the question every day, like, can you make it through your own challenges, right? And each of us are going to have challenge. Each of us are going to have things to work through. And it's when we don't compare ourselves to somebody else. It's when we don't put ourselves in a place where, where mentality is an able mentality, where what we're using inside is working and radiating light outwards. See, a lot of people don't find that page for themselves because they're not willing to. Are you willing to find that page inside of yourself? Are you willing to pick yourself up when other people would tell you it's not possible, yeah? And so that's what I see on a daily, and I see the people, I see the comments, I see the people who actually get on there, and they I would like if you guys would like connect with the network and start getting into the mentality and start to see the light radiating in your life and radiating in your day and your weeks and starting to see you grow. See, each of you are a blessing in this universe. Each of you have a path, and it's been a daily. Okay, I've been grinding at this daily. I haven't stopped, and I'm not going to stop. Because you see, even Illuminati wanted me. Okay, I'm talking about levels of focus that go beyond challenge. Okay, I want you to see that liberation is in your mind. It's in your ability to be yourself. Okay, I've had multiple groups trying to reach out to me, asking me, can you join our group? And the group that I want to join is the free group. I want to join the group that frees your mind. I want to join the group that gives you the ability to become uplifted, to where no matter what they do with me, you're freed. Okay, see, I don't want just myself to be uplifted. I already know using meditation works. I already know focusing works. I already worked 100 hours a week for a year. Okay, I already know what it's like to go through that kind of place. I already know what it's like to sit in a sauna for 5 hours. What I want is for you to be able to overcome your challenges. I want you to hear this message and to be inspired. I want you to share your story with your friends. I want you to share this with yourself inside of you. I want you to manifest your being. And I want you to see that energy is real. I want you to see that the connection between the left and the right side of the universe. And I'm not talking about just one stable place. The East and the Western medicines, they're all connected. The creator of the universe is connected. And see, a lot of people, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to be a part of that. They don't want to believe in the actual ability that science might prove that the creator is real. And see, that's what I'm talking about. See, motivation is mentioned in the biblical more than 23 times. It's spoken about that the breath, to be close to the breath is what it's about. We were given breath. And in fact, in this time where people are trying to cut that out, the most important thing that you got to notice is the thing that they're trying to take is your breath. And so that is what a manifestation means, that you are both mass and energy, that this message vibrates inside of you, that what you utilize is yourself. And it's about time we start dominating our own lives and we stop comparing ourselves to him or her or anybody. And this isn't the first time you've heard this. You've heard this from Rocky Balboa. You've heard this from Sylvester Stallone. You have heard this from so many people across the face of the planet. But why do people not do it? Because they don't put themselves where the foundation is. Focus. Okay? If you want to achieve a high level of success, if you want to achieve a place inside of yourself, if you want to achieve a place and you want the things that you want, it's not going to come from somebody else. Okay, there have been many millions and billionaires that have lost their money. Okay, and the way they lost their money is by inheritance. And the reason they lost their money because of inheritance was because their mind was not in a place to earn it for themselves. They didn't climb that mountain for themselves. They didn't get to where they got that stuff. And so we see those people who do that. We see those people who focus to the place, who ask themselves the questions every single day. When I was sleeping in my van, when I was doing meditation in the sauna, when I was in a place where I was going inside of McDonald's and I was literally filling up bottles and shakes, and you can look through all my videos, okay? Anyone who knows me knows that I'm serious on my diet. And at this point, I'm not even eating meat anymore. Okay, so what I'm talking about is a reflection outwards of your mind. I'm talking about a reflection outwards. And I remember being inside the sauna. I remember sitting in there for more than 47 days, cross-legged, and my knees, they had literally become the size of oranges, and they were swollen. And I was sitting cross-legged, and I started to realize that patience is a process, that patience inside becomes a reflection, that our bodies are a reflection of our minds. Our ability to take control of our breaths is the ability to control the challenges that we face off against. And a lot of us don't liberate our minds. We don't give ourselves that place to grow. We don't give ourselves that place to study. We want to become professors and doctors and lawyers, but who spends the time on themselves? Who spends the time sitting inside? But you see that person in the gym who's doing that for themselves, who's spending the time on themselves, they won't admit it to you. But sometimes your mind needs that liberation. Sometimes your body is overworked. Sometimes your mind needs the exercise. Sometimes your mind needs to hear what we're talking about right here. And that is where writing stuff down comes in handy. When you put the things down in front of yourself, the first thing that starts to happen is you start to see your challenges. You start to see the things that you can work through. You start to see the things that you want to manifest. Okay, and another thing to understand is that energy is real. Okay, you can take a scanner and you can run it over somebody and you will see energy inside of their body. Robert Kiyosaki stated that emotion is nothing less than energy in motion. Okay, so that goes alongside what Einstein stated, that mass and energy are interchangeable sources. We are mass and we are energy. It's about time on the face of the planet that people recognize that both are connected and that we are a part of science. And that the blessing is that we are alive, that we are close to our breath as biblically it's written. You know, meditation is to be close to the breath. And I can tell you that the understanding within oneself, the understanding of one's being, the human being is a being. And it's meant to be present inside of yourself. It's meant to help other people, to uplift yourself, to be you. And one of the places where a lot of people don't give themselves that ability, you know, that place where that's called self-honesty, the hardest characteristic to work with in life. Because as soon as you start to see the things that are positive and you start to see the things that are negative in your life, you want to start to move those things that are negative out of your life. Well, how do you start to see those things? How do you start putting yourself in that place where you're utilizing that, right? You know, a lot of people are looking at this time and they're saying, well, these things are happening right now. I can tell you throughout time things have happened. It has been difficult times throughout the whole entire universe. It has been times throughout the entire time. What is going on in your mind? What is going on in your ability? Are you allowing the times that you have right now to able you? Or are they disabling your mind? And that's the questions we got to ask ourselves. I look at this time right now at no other than any other time. There have always been hard times. There have always been people going through challenges. It's up to you to sit by yourself and to start to work on you and to start to hammer at your challenges. See, the person who's staying down right now is not finding the time of expansion. They're not finding the time of liberation. See, last night I was driving a customer because I do Uber. I've been doing about 5 years of Uber, 14,000 plus customers. And see, I understand, okay, that when we are in a time like now, this is a time of self-study. This is a time of self-expansion. It's actually a blessing. The movement in which going on right now started with my mother's teacher, okay, Yogi Bhajan, all right? I'm a like fourth generation meditator, okay? I have it in my lineage. It's inside of my blood, all right? So when people try to come up and they try to say, well, I'm from India, or I'm from here, or I'm from there, and they try to put barriers and things in front of you, I don't live by those rules. I live by the universe. I live by the Most High God of this universe. I live by the mere fact that we live on this face of this planet, that we are all human beings. Okay? And so what you see is positive. What you see is a blessing. Somebody else might not. But you see, the thing is you started your journey. You started your path. You started on a page of your life. And sometimes you might get in a position. You might be in a job. You might be in a place where you have the ability to utilize that. You see, it's the person who doesn't compare themselves to somebody else, but continues to hammer away at it, that gets to the top. It's the person who doesn't stop, who's willing to spend the nights, the days to get inside of the arena. And the person who's willing to do that for themselves, to ultimately shut down to the world that tells them it's not possible, finds that positivity, because you know what? The things that aren't meant for them move out of the way on their own. And yeah, I was married for 8 years. And yes, my companion left me. And yes, the blessings are flowing in. I could see those people. And I want to help those people. I want them to hear what I'm saying. And that's what they wanted to silence me for. They wanted to stop me from giving the ability for you to become liberated. They wanted to stop me from giving the ability to use what I have for myself. And I don't know why other people aren't speaking out like that. They just share stories. They want to give you a little bit of inspiration. They don't want to truly uplift you. They don't want to drive you past the drive. You know, like I look at the Eric Thomas quote at what drives you. I ask you, what brings the reflection beyond that drive? See, because you stop at the breath. What about the inside? What about the mentality? What about the ability inside of oneself to go beyond one's challenges? And that's where we recognize self-challenge is nothing less than self-study, guys. Self-study is a reflection of what you're focusing on, where you're putting your attention. Like a glass, like if you go on Wikipedia and you search out what focus is, it's going to show you the type of lens, okay? Or it's where you put your attention. All right, so each of us have that kind of capability. What do you put your mind to? What is it that you free yourself? You know, a lot of people in this world have talked about things and they've put excuses in front of themselves. We all have our ability to work through our challenges for ourselves. And it's inside of when we don't allow what other people call it. It's when we don't allow other people to disable our own mind that we free ourselves. It's at a level where focus, when what you write down becomes manifested. You see, each of us has challenges. So when I'm talking about writing stuff down, I'm talking about writing down your challenges. I'm talking about writing down your positivity. I'm talking about writing down the pieces that bring that puzzle that's in your mind, and those pieces turn into your values. It's on that level that I'm talking about. I'm talking about achieving a level where even the people around you become a part of your story. Okay? But you got to be the center part of your story. You got to be that person inside of yourself. You got to see that there is no such thing as a disability. Okay? This goes out to every single person across the face of the planet. Okay, there's no such thing as a disability. There's only an ability to utilize what you have. And yeah, I had migraines 7 days a week at certain points. And I have had disabilities that have been thrown at me, and diagnosis and this and that. And you know what it came down to? You know exactly what it came down to? It came down to how willing you are to work, how willing you are to focus on what you want to achieve. And so you see, as I sat there and I outsold people even though I couldn't even spell. When I outsold the people and I couldn't even spell, okay? I was using Google Translator, literally the Google Messenger, to be able to do credit applications for people. And they were coming in there and they were buying cars from me because of the mentality. You know, the team that I was working with wanted me to be the manager, and it wasn't because of education, it was because of mentality. And that's the type of world I want to see. I want to see people who know themselves. I want to see people who I watched even Sadhguru say, you guys don't know this. Man, if those people were in the same room with me, if they were sitting down in the same kinds of courses that I teach, and they were hearing the kinds of message that they have, they would massively disagree with Sadhguru. Okay, this means the whole Aisha. Okay, this talks about the whole entire population there. Okay, the mentality that we have inside of ourselves to be human beings, that's your certification. That's your life to be a part of you. And so I'm talking to people across the face of the planet. I'm talking to those people who would call ourselves still being in the age of Aquarius, because that days, they're gone. The day of Pisces, okay? This is a Pisces telling you. It is the time of Pisces. It is the time of joy. It's the time of the two fish, the focus and the knowledge being centered. And you know who stated this? The first person, Einstein. When he stated, he recognized that mass and energy, we are that. We are a place of inspiration. We are a being, and it's up to you to want to have that kind of vibration. It's up to you to want to have that kind of energy flow from within you. And a lot of people stop themselves from getting to that page. They don't want to move forward. They don't want to expand. They don't want to reach the stage of knowledge. They don't want to get past that. They want to be stuck on the page where it's some special place to be enlightened. Okay, inner light is your teacher. It's you. It's going to be always you. It's going to be inside of you until the day that you pass beyond this being, till your last breath. And it's when you focus beyond that challenge, when you get to that place where fears, emotions, pains become teachers and lessons, when you gain that place inside of yourself where you gain understanding that the being inside of you is worth it, when you focus to that point where you go beyond your breath. Okay, now you've all heard that quote by Eric Thomas. I want to talk about a stage beyond that stage. Okay, I want to talk about a place where focus is beyond focus, where it goes inwards into the mentality. I want to dominate this year in such a way in which you're liberated in your mind. I want you to see that I have a practice of meditation. Okay, it is my own practice. Okay, I sat down and did the basic stuff and sat there for years and years and years. And so when I talk about meditation, I talk about the 5 hours plus that I spend in a sauna. I talk about the people who witness me spending hours and hours and hours in the gym inside the sauna. I'm talking to the people who want to achieve high places of success in their lives. Recognize that your level of focus yields that. Okay, so where your focus is, that's what you're going to achieve. If you're putting yourself in a place where your mentality goes beyond your challenges, then you can expect that the result is that your challenges are going to become overcome. And I know I see it on a daily. I see people who want somebody else to do it for them. And I'm here to tell you, it isn't somebody else who's going to lift you up. It's not somebody else who can work the hours you work. They can't put in the time that you can. They can't think like you can. You are a blessing in this universe. You are one with challenges, and those challenges should be embraced. They should be a part of a reason to drive you. They should truly put you in a place where you're so focused that the things that are not meant for you move out of the way on their own. After all, isn't that what Einstein stated? For each action, there's an equal and opposite. So if we are going to search out positivity, the negativity is going to come and move out of its way. And guess what fills its place? Positive thinking. And so that's how foundation is built. A foundation in positivity, a foundation in a place where what you're seeing is becoming a reflection. And as I was sleeping in my van, as I was putting myself in a place, I asked myself a question every single day. Every day that I woke up, I was washing my clothes in the 24-hour fitness shower. I was drying them inside of the shorts dryer. I was getting in the car. I was dieting. I was meditating. I was breaking barriers. My wife had left me. And I want to tell you that because of all of that, I found myself. And that's what I want you to find is yourself. I want you to find who you are on the inside. I want you to see that your challenges can and are able to be overcome. That a mentality of liberation is freedom for yourself. It's inside of you, and that it's not selfish for you to be you. It's not selfish for you to be who you are on the inside. See, the world has taught us that to be yourself is selfish. That is not the case. What happens when all you have is you, okay? When all you have is you, is that selfish to be yourself? It is not selfish for you to be who you are on the inside. See, on that inside of you is your best friend. Inside of you is a companion within yourself. The person that you are, your mind, your focus, the very essence of your being is present within you. And a lot of us drown ourselves out with drugs and alcohol. When do you become your best friend? Okay, when do you get to that page inside of yourself where your energy flows, where your beings become that person who you truly are? And this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that ability to free yourself. I'm talking about the type of stuff to the reason why they wanted to shut me down, okay? I'm talking about stuff that nobody else talks about, because I know when I went through those challenges, how I got through them was by believing in myself, by believing in who I was. When I was sleeping in my van for 2 months, okay? I slept in my van for 2 months literally, okay? And it was a wonderful thing because I learned to wash my clothes by hand. Okay, I meditated. I learned how to be sufficient within oneself and to put one as one's best friend. That is success. Okay, that is a place of success when you find yourself. Okay, when the universe isn't crushing you. Okay, so ask yourself that question: is the universe crushing who I am? And you see, when I came out here to Arizona from San Diego, California, when I came to drop off these two dogs, and I came to drop them off, and I had come to the understanding that my companion had abandoned me. Other people started filling in that space. I started working with people with meditation. Okay, they started seeking me out for help. Okay, it started with a girl with stage 4 metastasized cancer. Okay, she's passed in this life. I have a tattoo on my side from doing Buffo and Campbell. Okay, I literally, on my Instagram, you can watch the video. On YouTube, you can watch the video. My YouTube channel is ZeroMLP2000 at Gmail. ZeroMLP2000 at Gmail. You can go back, you can watch the videos, you can watch the progression. As I progressed, 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, then 20 minutes, then 30 minutes, then 40 minutes, then an hour. Okay, there have been days I've got online and read energy for people. There are times when we need to understand the own energy inside of ourselves so that we can utilize it. And there are 7 energy fields that flow inside of the human being. And those are scientifically provable. Okay, you can take a heat scanner over a person and you will see each individual color. And it is Einstein who stated that mass and energy are interchangeable. So that's that interchange, and that's how that works. The vibration radiates outwards. Okay, the over 100,000 people that I worked with in the last decade. Okay, the people who have come and between sitting in my car, between doing telesales, between doing car sales, like the 5 years that I've been doing Uber. Like I just bypassed the 5th year of doing Lyft. Okay, so what I'm talking about is the ability to put yourself in a place where your professions become a vibration, where your being vibrates at that level of understanding, where your breath becomes your friend. Okay, so let's go ahead and start looking at how going inwards works. So once you start to connect with the universe and you start to see positivity working in your life, when it starts to work for you, that's when you got to start working on yourself. That's when the self-honesty shows up. Your self-honesty is the ability to test yourself. It's the ability to get inside of yourself and to stop facing off against the challenges that other people are facing off against. Your own challenges. And that's where the able mentality lives. It lives inside of you. It lives in your ability to face off against that person. And sometimes you got to shut the door to get there. Sometimes you got to shut the door, and you can connect with me. Let's go ahead and get you live here. Maybe I can actually work with you a little bit here. We can get your mentality into a place where you could see the positivity that's coming out of this. As I spoke with a girl in the car one day, and she had 3 children. Okay, so this is what's going on here. I got a conversation here, and it said that when we lost $2, a 15 and a 2-year-old in the same week by a car accident. Okay, all right. So I hear you. I hear you. Their paths, their journeys, they ended on their time frame. They were a blessing on the face of the planet. They existed. They had a path. They had a purpose. And so I want to bring you on live so we can actually work through this together. I want you to understand also that I am a Christian, okay? I believe in God, but I don't believe in the way that other people believe. So I really just want to start to try to help your mentality out to liberate yourself through these challenges. I really feel like I can actually help you here. And it's not when we face off against challenges that we overcome them. It's when we face off against ourselves that the challenges start to become overcome. Okay? A lot of people have taught that there's such thing as good or bad. That the universe doesn't do things on purpose. And everything that happens in the universe happens for a purpose. It happens so that you can understand this universe at a higher level. So that who you are inside can vibrate light. And so if you can yet but for a minute see that as that path, that those they had their journey, and that their path had its pages. See, you have yours still as well. Okay, and when as I was by myself, as I had gotten to the page where I loved somebody, I remember loving somebody more than I loved myself. Okay, and I remembered finding patience. I remember finding patience inside. I remember the times when I didn't think I could do it. Okay, when like I'm bypassed a little bit over a year since a companionship that I had with somebody for I was married to them for 8 years. They left me. They went to Europe and they wouldn't come back. And when I asked them to come back, they told me another 3 months, and I gave them another 3 months, and another 3 months turned into another 3 months, and then at a certain point, you come to a realization that you have to become who you are inside, and that the people that are going to be on your path, the people that are going to be on your journey, they're going to be on your journey, and that you started your journey, that you started your path, that you started your breath, and that like we think about these people, and even children or companions, they accompany on our life's journey, and we sometimes forget that sometimes companies come to an end, and so that we have to let them go on their path, and we have to let them go on their journey, and that their breaths and their paths have their pages of understanding, and inside of that place comes liberation. The freedom comes in the knowledge to know that they were able to accompany you for that time on their journey, and that their journey was a blessing. Okay, that their journey was something that you got to experience a part of, and so it's not to stop you, it's to actually help you to grow. Okay, what happened here actually helps you to expand in your understanding of yourself. See, this is where meditation comes in handy. Meditation decompresses the emotion. It decompresses the pains. It decompresses the fears that we have, because they're nothing less than learned. And these people that came into your life, that were a part of your journey, they are a knowledge in your mind. And it's inside of your mind that the freedom liberates you. And see, we're always searching for that lesson, that story inside of it. And that's where knowledge really lays. See, emotion is just a layer of knowledge. Okay, knowledge is the thing that is inside of you. It's that exchange of mass and energy. It's that incoming breath and that outgoing breath. And that's where meditation helps you to make it through those kind of challenges. So as I'm talking about meditation, which I do every day for about 10 minutes, I'm going to talk about how I utilize that, so that I can start to show you how that can work through that kind of challenges, okay? And so at a certain point inside of the being, we get scars. When we go through challenges, when we go through times when people's journeys end on their page, this is a page of joy, okay? And as I lost my friend who had stage 4 metastasized cancer, okay, the message that I sent was my meditation video, and she was in a coma, okay, and she could hear through the coma, okay, and I said blessings, which is thank you. It's a way of saying goodbye without having to say thank you, because thank you means that you're giving a gift, whereas blessings means that your mentality is in a place where you're blessing other people with your ability to become a part of the process. See, a lot of people forget that they are a part of that process. They forget that they have their own breath, and that they are a blessing on the face of the planet, that they can dominate their being, that they can be who they are on the inside. And so back to the story of what I'm trying to get at is that when we sit down with ourselves, when we sit down with who we are inside, when we stop the fears from happening, when the things that we go through don't have the ability to stop us, because we are so focused. Okay, because we are so focused that the only thing that can move in our direction is positivity. See, blessings to France. And so It's in positivity that we start filling our places inside. It's when we overcome our challenges and the knowledge inside starts to free us that we can overcome those kind of challenges. And as I remembered that those types of things were happening, they passed on that day, and I was so in joy because the transcendence, the mastery of meditation gave liberation. Okay, when we free ourselves inside, when we truly become free from the inside out, when we're truly who we are and we're truly facing off against our challenges, what we're searching for is freedom from within. We're searching for the person that is already inside of you. And so when you become that best friend, the joy that those people were on your journey, okay? As I was sitting at the beach one day and I'd gone through this car accident, right? And I displaced both of my hips and thrown a vertebrae out of place and elongated my neck. And, I was really in a lot of pain, and I was in a place where what was going on inside was being tested. See, when we experience things it's more than one level that we experiencing. We experience things in our bodies, our minds, and our energy within ourselves. And when we breathe and when we have accidents, sometimes it's the breath that caused the accident within yourself. See, a lot of people that go to the gym and they'll lift more weights just to overcome a challenge. When your breath becomes that ability to do that, you can overcome your challenges within yourself. And and that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what goes on within you. I'm talking about what you're facing off against and the experiences that you have. Sometimes like we might get a headache from an experience that we have, or we might, feel a pain because of that experience. All it is knowledge waiting for you to free it. It's waiting for you to become that teacher that is inside of you. It's waiting for that student to have learned the lesson. And each of us have that place for ourselves. Each of us have those kind of challenges within ourselves, and we are free to be who we are as soon as we look within. See, it's not for somebody else to do for you. It's not somebody else's job. It's when you connect your focus and your knowledge together where your place of liberation comes from within. You are both a teacher and a student in your life. You have challenges, you have things to work through, you have places to go, and you have things to do and dreams to achieve. And it's so awesome to have challenge. It's just a blessing that challenge comes our way. It's a blessing that we have these types of things and that we can stay positive. Sometimes we're tested to see if that is even possible, and if we have what it takes to get through our challenges. And I'm telling you, when you truly do make it through your challenges, other people start to see you as an inspiration. They start to see you as a light in the universe. The universe starts to shine light upon your life. And I want it to shine light upon your life. I want it to shine light upon your being. I want it to become a blessing. I want you to your thoughts to become prayers. I want them to become something so great that the people around you see your vibration light up in this world. When you speak, blessings come out. When you sing, blessings come out. When you write, blessings come out. And when you do your professions, blessings come out. In that way, the universe has the ability to yield its energy. It has the ability to yield its purpose, its path for you. And each of us have a path and a purpose. We have challenge and we have the ability to overcome those challenges. And it's only when we believe in ourselves, where we believe in, and we become it, that person who we are on the inside. And so overcoming those kind of challenges give us the ability to become free from within, give us the ability to be who we are and to face off against the things that only you or or I can. See, that's the beauty of being a human being, is to be present inside of yourself, to challenge when other people would not, to truly become who you are and to face off against the things that you go through. What a blessing it is for us to have challenge, right? So if we didn't have knowledge and focus, then we wouldn't have ourselves. If you didn't have your breath, if you didn't have your path, if you didn't have your purpose, then this universe would have nothing to give to you. And I believe, I know that there is positivity in this universe for you. I know that positive things can come your way. I know that positive things can happen for you. I know that when you focus past your challenges, when you find that knowledge and that focus, when that thing inside of you centers itself, amazing things happen. Amazing things happen. The people around you start to seek you out. And you want to have a world where other people seek you for you, where they seek you for who you are on the inside, where you become a blessing in this universe. When other people look at you and they see you as a blessing and they say, God blessed you in your life. And it's inside of that page that the universe is utilized. It's inside of that page that we have challenge to be able to overcome. And they're not there to stop you. They're not even there to stop you. They're there to help you to grow. They're there to help you to become who you are on the inside. They're there to help you to free your mind and to see that there's no such thing as a nightmare. There is just an ability to see that page where you're on, because each of us have our own page. You see, when I started asking myself that question, is what I'm doing today, is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? I started to realize what I was doing was I was focusing. I was using self-study. Everybody knows that you gotta study. When do you study yourself? And when do you start to use that place as a place of discipline? When do you become that discipline? When do you become that light in the universe? When do you start to become that top in your profession? When is it your turn to get there for yourself? When is it your turn to ask yourself those types of questions? When is it your turn to become that kind of vibration in the universe? And as I work with you, as I work through your challenges with you, as I sit down and we put ourselves on a page where we become a light in the universe. When we become a light in this universe, we have the ability to become tools in this universe. And ask yourself, if anybody that you work with and you see those tools being used, if you are a tool in this universe, and it will be an answer that you are a place of knowledge, you are a place of focus, and what you're radiating is light of reflection, which others see you as an inspiration. I just want to close. I feel like it's a blessing that we were able to be together today, that we were able to go through our challenges, we're able to get to that mentality on this date here for you, where a lot of people feel that, something is different. Okay, you are always going to be yourself. You're always going to go through your challenges. You're always going to have to look at what you can do to be who you are inside, to use your focus, your knowledge, and your discipline to create that thing that all of us are, which is that theory of relativity, that mass and energy lives inside of you. As you see your day, I hope you're all blessed. As always, blessings, blessings, blessings.